weekly weather briefing for the week of October 2nd, 2014. The main focus for the week's outlook is the chance for severe thunderstorms very late tonight and on Friday. There's a storm system that's in the Central Plains. You can kind of indicate where that is on the map. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. This is the day one outlook, and mind you, this is not just valid for today. It's actually valid all the way through 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So the yellow area that indicates a slight risk of severe thunderstorms does approach northwest Georgia. The main threats for severe weather is mainly going to be damaging winds. There's an outside chance of a weak tornado with these, but mainly over the central U.S., indicated there in the red shading. We can't rule it out in far northwest Georgia very late tonight towards sunrise, but main threat is going to be damaging winds. This is another way that our meteorologists look at the chance for severe weather. Sometimes we just look back in history. That's known as an analog forecast, and this chart that you're looking at is based off of 40 years worth of severe storm reports and looking at the general weather pattern, and when the weather patterns line up similar to what's forecast on today and tonight, we can match what happened on those days and plot them on a map. So this green area, it looks significant, but it's actually on the low end. It's probably more relevant to a slight risk, if that, and a little bit of yellow area where there's a higher matching with previous severe weather events in southern Arkansas. And again, this covers northwest Georgia, similar to the last map we looked at, and it is based on 4 years worth of data. So we want to present this just as another way to look at the forecast for late tonight. Once we get past on sunrise on Friday, we switch to the day 2 outlook, which becomes valid at that time. This is from the Storm Prediction Center, and note there is no slight risk indicated on this map, just a green area indicating general thunderstorms. This is pretty good news with the ingredients that kind of form severe thunderstorms. Instability, vertical wind shear, and some other factors aren't coming together quite as well as they are this afternoon and tonight over the central U.S. and the mid-south. But we'll watch it closely. There is some indication that there could be some instability and decent shear in the afternoon on Friday. Here is the Storm Prediction Center severe probabilistic outlook that corresponds to the previous slide. Note they're showing less than 5% for any type of severe weather. We look at this sometimes on the day 2 outlook because sometimes you can get a 5% area within a general thunderstorm area, and we're not indicating this at this time, so that's good news. Here's the same severe weather analog forecast that we looked at previously. This time it's valid for Friday and Friday night. Note there's not any green area, so that's again good news, kind of confirming what the Storm Prediction Center was looking at for their day 2 outlook. Don't put a lot of stock on maybe where the yellow is in this particular image. Once the parameters become fairly weak, the accuracy of these analog forecasts aren't quite as good. I just wanted to throw out there that the conditions don't look quite as favorable on Friday and Friday night as they do for this afternoon and tonight to our west. All right, well, I'm going to step through one of our more accurate computer model forecasts that's pretty high resolution. This is a radar reflectivity forecast based on an ensemble of storm scale models, and an ensemble is basically an average of several different models all at once. It sort of gives you a little bit more confidence on where things are lining up. And at 9 a.m. Friday morning, you look at the line of showers and thunderstorms is already in the northwest part of the state. As I mentioned, it could be moving in as early as sunrise, maybe a little bit before that in far northwest Georgia, Dade County, for instance, Trenton, Chattanooga suburbs, and those areas. So we'll be on the lookout for that. You could see some damaging winds as the storm move in. Oftentimes storms weaken after midnight, so we'll hope that's the case. We just don't want to rule that out. Here's the same forecast valid at noon. Note that line of showers and a few thunderstorms has moved all the way into northeast Georgia to the Atlanta metro area down towards Columbus. So it's moving steadily and quickly. The intensity appears to have weakened, so that's good news. At 3 p.m. on Friday, the line of showers and thunderstorms is kind of pushed east of Atlanta, and it's weakened on this model forecast. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. If this line of showers and thunderstorms weakens more than what's shown here, that could actually cause the ingredients to become more favorable for the afternoon period to the west. You kind of see on this map showers and thunderstorms developing back to the west, where the real front is located over northwest Georgia, North Georgia. Most of the time, those showers and thunderstorms that form in this environment behind the line of initial activity is usually quite scattered or even isolated, but they can become strong if there's enough instability. So we're going to have to watch that closely, and it depends quite a bit on what's going to happen with that first round of showers and thunderstorms. And again, here's the forecast showing isolated showers and thunderstorms back behind the main line at 6 p.m. Friday and at 9 p.m. Friday. Beyond this time, we could see a little bit of activity isolated, especially between 9 p.m. and midnight. After midnight, I think ingredients are going to be calming down and the activity should weaken, so we're not anticipating much problems in north and central Georgia after midnight. All right, I've got the title on the slide here. Finally, what this means is much cooler temperatures this weekend. So I know we've had one or two cold fronts so far, late this summer and early this fall. This one's going to be the strongest one so far. High temperatures on Saturday are shown on the left. 60s pretty much everywhere except areas south and east of Macon. Up in the mountains, it may be in the 50s all day. On top of the cool temperatures, we'll have strong gusty winds. These are maximum wind gusts during the day, mainly in the afternoon on Saturday, all above 20 miles per hour in the Atlanta metro area and kind of south of the mountains. There could be gusts around 25 and stronger than that in the high elevations. So we'll be a little breezy and brisk on Saturday. On Sunday, it's not shown here as well. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer, but still around 70 and 60s in some parts of North Georgia on Sunday. Here's the tropical outlook. Just to reassure what most people probably know, there's not much tropical activity going on currently in the Atlantic. There's just some weak tropical disturbances. They're moving away from the U.S. in the eastern Pacific near western coast of Mexico. We've had a lot of activity this late this summer in hurricane season, and there is another tropical storm down there. It's not forecast to affect the southwest, where they desperately need some of the rain there in Southern California. That the system should curve off to the west and then maybe southwest. As far as the next 5 days, again, no tropical activity is forecast in the eastern Pacific. All right, this is a tool that our meteorologists sometimes use within our office. It's not accessible outside of our building, but basically it's parameters for severe weather and flash flooding. Green is good and red is bad, obviously. In this case, you can kind of see Friday afternoon and evening. The orange and yellow colors are kind of lined up at one column. They are indicating there is a risk of severe storms. Not a great risk. And we have a lot of green, a lot of stable conditions this weekend and Monday. On Tuesday, however, in the afternoon, again, we've got some indication there may be instability returning, which would be in the form of low-level moisture and another storm system to our west. So we'll have to watch that. It doesn't look quite as strong as the one we're expecting tonight and tomorrow, but we'll keep our eye on it. Here's a quick outlook for a couple cities, Dalton and Atlanta. Pretty warm today, and even Dalton, 87 for today, but that may be one of the last days we see temps in the 80s. I may see one or two more this fall, but temperatures are going to go back down to normal and even below normal this weekend, but looks like nice weather, just another chance of showers and possibly a thunderstorm on Tuesday once we get through the front on Friday. So in summary, severe storms are possible Friday and Friday evening across north and central Georgia, beginning in the far northwest corner of the state as early as around sunrise tomorrow morning. And we're going to watch that closely. It looks like the main threats will be damaging winds, but you can't rule out a very isolated or a brief tornado. Doesn't look like the ingredients are real favorable for that at this time. Much cooler once the front goes through. Saturday, temperatures in the 60s, and Sunday as well, upper 60s to lower 70s. More storms possible on Tuesday, and no tropical activities currently being monitored. Quick advertisement for those of you seeing this briefing before Saturday morning. If you're in the Atlanta area or South Metro in particular, you're welcome to come to our office on Saturday between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., especially if you have a young person that you know that's interested in weather. Our teachers are also welcome. We've done this before in the past, and it's been very successful, so we're working on that, organizing it right now today, and you can kind of see more about it here on the slide, but we definitely want you to come out if you're interested. That's about it for the forecast briefing, and hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.